So we've had one of our first returns. It was always going to happen, part of it, but something is a little bit sus regarding this one. So let's have a look and let's see what you think, because something's dodgy has happened here, and I think numbnuts is going to be the one paying out for it. So let's go and take a look. So we sold this Audi A3 as one of our first cars back when we started this journey at the start of the year. It comes with an absolute folder full of service history. The last owner had had it for around 10 years. It was a 2-owner car and generally in really good condition. It needed only a few dents taken out, a complete polish all the way around. It had a service and that was it. It was ready to go. And yes, it might not have been within the price range, but at the time we was just trying to get some stock through the doors, get some reviews in, to build some customer trust. So let's go have a look at this Audi Q3 that's just come back in. I will be putting it on the ramp and I'll explain a little bit why later on, because there's been some conflicting information regarding this return. So this has just been dropped off on the trailer. And this is our first look around the car. Now, we had this car fully machine polished to take out all the scratches and it's covered them in again. Now, there is fair wear and tear, but I do think the car could have come back in a lot nicer condition. This is inside, obviously. Look at the state of it. You know, when someone's angry, I don't expect them to spotlessly clean a car. What have they done to the steering wheel? I do not know. But there's all the rubbish left down here. Got it. There'll be something in there. Open the back up. It is just a bloody mess. So this has been returned to us. As I said, the customer has had it 6 months, but it's just starting to get a little bit heated, a few little threats that we'll talk about. So I just decided, let's take it back and we'll sort it then. We'll talk about the mileage. Look at it, man. Ah. Dents, scratches, trim. This is going to be not very nice. All down here again. Oh, they've driven this down like a hedge. Oh, thank you very much. What a lovely way to return the car. That's the outside. And to be fair, I'm quite pissed. So let's give you a summary on what's happened with this. One of our first cars that we sold at the start of the year. It was a local car that we bought. And folders like that, needed for nothing, just a machine polish, a few little dents sorted by the local dent man, and that was it. Had a few issues on warranty, and you know, that happens, that's fine. First one was an ABS sensor, that come back in, we sorted that. And the second, which is why they've dropped the ball a little bit on this one, or we're gonna put on the ramp now to see if they have, was a DPF fault. Now, I've been dealing with the wife. I'm not going to say no names, nothing at the moment, because this is still all very much in the air. Now, DPF light come on. We went to a local garage. They regened it. Let me go back where the light's better. They regened it and just said, if it comes back on again, you're going to need a new DPF. She informed me that was fine. We paid for the regen as well. About a month and a half later, it come back on again. Now, this was about 4 months in, so I know some people say there's a cut-off of 3, or it starts going down off that. Realistically, it's 6, and realistically, it's after that as well. But, so I was a bit like, right, okay, let's just, it's one of the first cars, let's not beat around the bush, let's just get it done. So we had a price, was £850 odd, which took everything out of the car that we had in it, but that's life, it happens, that's fine. So we paid for that to go in. Now, that takes us up to a month and a half ago. And as of last week, we had a phone call from the husband saying the DPF lights come back on. And I was like, hold on a minute. You know, you took it to a garage that you trusted. I didn't pick anybody. It's a garage you trusted that's done all your work. I said, we've paid for all of that. I'm not sure what you want us to do. So he went down the route, he's gone online and looked at the CRA and he knows that he can return the car. So we had a bit of back and forth regarding that. And what we're gonna do now is gonna stick on the ramp, and I'll tell you why in the next. So we got the car on the ramp, and before I start, I am no mechanic. So if I get something wrong, I ain't a mechanic. Now, why am I under here? And it's not, I won't start. So when I been originally speaking to the wife, she said that they got the DPF sorted and I footed the bill. Again, I'm not gonna say the garage, they done nothing. Maybe, come back to that. I just had the bill, I've paid for bill to get the DPF sorted. So my belief was new DPF going in, and then everybody was happy. I had a happy customer was happy, reputation was kept, etc, etc. Well, when I was speaking to the husband, when he took over the phone calls because he wanted to bring the car back, and he wasn't happy with me saying that I could charge for the mileage, the condition, any damage that wasn't there or point of sale. And I said, if you don't give me all the service history, I can charge for that, etc, etc, etc. So he took the phone off his wife. And what I like to say to these people, especially when they're relatively local, pop down and see me, because sometimes on the phone you can get a bit irate and it's not needed. Just pop down and see me. So when he come down, he come in with a very aggressive tone at the start. I just said to him, before you start, if I got to refund you the money, I will. Within your rights, you can return the car to me. I said, do you accept that? And he was like, yes. I said, well, also within my rights, I can deduct for damage and certain issues if they are there. I said, you can't have one without the other. So he understood and he was fine. So I said to him, bring the car down, I'll inspect it, then we'll have a conversation and we will have a look at returning you the money. And he made one major slip up that I've had to wait until the car was here to see. And let's have a little look. So obviously we got it on the ramp. Now I'm no mechanic, but his major slip up was, since it was cut out, the car has been better. Now, I don't know if he noticed what he had said, but I'm going to try. I don't know if you will be able to see this, and I apologise if you can't. I'm trying to get my phone up there. So this is me now looking, with my very limited knowledge. So my knowledge is, I don't know if you can see, and you get a better light. So you've got the DPF going up just from the exhaust there. Now when I've looked on photos, because that's what I had to do this, hold on a minute, oh for Christ. Right, I'll try and zoom in on the GoPro. You can see weld at the bottom of the DPF, I'm assuming that's the bottom of the DPF. Oh, they've cut it out. I don't know if you can see it. I can see weld at the bottom. I'm assuming that's part of the DPF that they've cut out, which in turn, does it bypass the DPF or does it just cut it out? I'm gonna Google. I hadn't said anything at the point to the husband because I was like, maybe he's just got his words mixed up and it's a battle that we don't need. And why I've taken this in, one, reputation, two, you know, there were threats to businesses and I don't know why, to be honest with you. I said from the start, you know, if the car needs to be, if their money needs to be returned, I'll do it. It's part of it. But I just think maybe because there are some people who don't return out there, they just kept on going at it. If you need your money back because you've lost faith in the car, we will do it. You have rights, I have rights. We meet in the middle, everybody's happy to an extent. So now I'm left with a huge dilemma because, again, I'm gonna have to do some digging with probably logistics here. My belief is also going to fail admissions on its next MOT, and what do you do? So I thought it would be good to show something coming back in. I didn't expect to end it like that. So I'm gonna have to do some digging. Now, I think this will be one to be continued. I'm gonna have a look in further. What would you do in this situation? The mileage is 7,500 miles on it, difference for 6 months, or just under 6 months. So it's been used well. As I said, the ABS sensor was the first thing on a car that's 13 years old. I don't think that's bad. DPF, I asked about the journeys, and there was a lot of short journeys involved. So I do think sometimes most cars with DPF, if you're just constantly doing short journeys, it's gonna happen. So yeah, bit of a tough one to take, I suppose. I said to the customers that I'm gonna need the car for a few days, which they didn't understand, and I said it's purely to have it checked over by a mechanic to understand what's gone wrong, and then I'll invite them both down for us to discuss what we have found. But initially, it looks like the DPF's been cut out. Was that their choice to cut it out? Was it the garage's choice to cut it out? We're gonna have to do some digging. Bit of a different one, and I'll keep you updated on what happens with the Q3 and the DPF issue. Oh, another one to add to the list. I'll see you on the next one.